So is it a case of too much fame too soon? Joining us to discuss the issue is psychologist Joe Lamble, celebrity agent Max Markston, pop culture expert Susan Hetherington and performer Nikki Webster. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Joe, we'll start with you. What would they be treating Susan for at this stage? They say exhaustion. What exactly does that mean?
First and foremost, it would be exhaustion. She would be physically exhausted, and then stress. And you've got to remember, stress is psychological and physical. So the body and the mind can get overloaded so much to a point you feel like you can't cope. We used to hear about people having nervous breakdowns. Yeah. Those people's nervous systems didn't break down. They just got to the point where their stress was too high and they could no longer cope. And that's what she's going through.
You and your buddies watching this would have seen all the pointers coming, right? You would have seen this building up to this.
Well, yes, but it's really hard to know if this is a common reaction, because this is not a common situation. Yeah. This is totally unexpected, and we know that anything that happens that's unexpected in life is harder, whether it's good or bad. So even if it was really good and she loved every minute of the beginning, that constant pressure is enough to lead someone to break down.
Max, let's bring you in here. How did Susan become so famous so quickly?
Because of the show. I mean, 250 million people have now looked at it on YouTube. She's all around the world. I mean, just this girl or woman, never been kissed, unmarried, 47, wants to be a singer, sings that beautifully. I dreamed a dream. I mean, just fantastic. So, and she'll now, because she's been all over the world, we just saw on Oprah, when she releases an album, she'll sell more records this year than Madonna, Pink, Beyonce, whoever you want to say. She'll be the biggest selling recording artist in the world this year.
Max, I want you to answer this question without singing, if you can. Yes. You deal with many instant celebs. Just how hard is it for them to adjust?
Look, it's different. I mean, there's suddenly... I mean, I was speaking to the Chick Chick Boom girl the other day. I mean, it's you know, it's sort of just so fast and you just don't know what you're doing. And for Susan, this pressure has just really come from the media and the attention, and it's just, wow, you know, it's just so much for her. But she'll be fine. She'll come through it. Money is a wonderful thing. Don't cry for me, Susan Boyle.
OK, let's go to Susan Hetherington. Does the media put too much pressure on reality TV stars? Do we forget that they are just normal people who haven't grown up in the biz?
Well, we do, but they're normal people who actually want. They're on these shows because they want to have the dream. They want the celebrity. She said in her first appearance that her dream was to be a musical theatre star. So you can't then really turn around and blame the media for giving her what she said that she wanted.
We've seen it happen before where the negative press can have a positive influence on a popularity. What do you think is going to unfold here?
Look, I think she'll be fine when she comes out the other end. She might decide that, in fact, the dream wasn't what she wanted in the end. But if she does want to pursue it, I think there are enough people that are now exposed to her, who have heard her singing, she's really touched our hearts. And I think that if she wants to continue, she will make a great career out of it.
Nikki Webster, is all this sounding a little bit familiar to us? Of course, you went from zero to hero overnight after the Sydney 2000 Games.
Absolutely, but I think it's, you know, with every star, we work so hard at what we do to get to a point, and yes, we want to do this, but no one knows, and there's no written book about how we cope with it. No one, you know, you go from nobody knowing you to everybody throwing themselves at you and throwing deals at you, and, you know, I mean, not only did I have to deal with the fact of people camping out on my front lawn, I was also dealing with school kids at school as well, and the pressures of that, and it's very difficult, and psychologically in your head, you kind of work out, you don't know who's your friend and who's being real, and it's very hard, especially in a short amount of time, which is, you know, the 6 weeks of her journey so far.
Do you ever remember feeling what she may be feeling now, which is, I just want all this to stop for a sec. I want people to stop looking at me. I don't want people to take photos anymore. I don't want people to talk about me anymore.
Absolutely. I think mine lasted a little bit longer than 6 weeks, but definitely after the closing ceremony of the Olympics, you know, just going to my local shops and trying to eat something and people coming up to me and wanting... I didn't understand why. But then again, I took some time out, and now this is what I want. You know, it's part of... It's a package of being in the media and doing what you love to do. There's ups, there's downs, there's everything in between, and if this is where she wants to go with her career, she's going to have to learn to juggle it.
OK, Max, just let's pretend for a moment that you're Susan Boyle's agent. I know you'd love to be. What would your advice be to her right now?
Affirmative action. She needs to think positive, get better, get out of hospital. They're going on a tour next with all the other Britain's Got Talent people. Then I'm sure during that time she'll be in the studio putting some songs down. Album will get released worldwide. She'll be doing a worldwide tour. We'll be going to see her at the Opera House, at the Entertainment Centre, and she's got a stellar career ahead of her. I mean, she has only come into our lives. April the 18th was when she first became famous. We'll have her for another 30, 40 years.
All right. Jo, when Susan threatened to quit the show, was that a cry for help at that point?
Yeah, I think she was definitely letting people know that she wasn't coping, and I think perhaps they could have done more to look after her. But how do you stop? How do you turn off the eyes of the world when the climax of this whole competition is coming? So I don't know how they could do that.
What would they be doing for her if she's now in this treatment facility? What sort of care would she be getting, Jo?
Hopefully they're just hiding her way, because even though Max can say, yes, she should get out there and capitalise on this fame, I mean, I'd love to see her just hide away, bunker away with a support team, with a counsellor, doctor, friends and family.
Definitely friends and family are a huge thing. Going back to your roots and really working out what she wants to do with her life.
That's right.
Is that a 5-day thing, a 10-day thing?
I'd love a month.
Okay.
I'd suggest a month. It'd be really good just for 4 weeks if she could, if the agents will let her.
I can allow a month. A month's fine. She'd have a month.
Oh, good.
A month's okay with you, Max?
Yeah, but that would be a behind-the-scenes story in there somewhere, Max, I'm sure.
Yeah, we do my month of recuperation by Susan Boyle. You know, tips for getting it.
All right, Susan, do you believe that reality TV contestants are prepared for possible instant fame?
No, I think they probably think they are, but how can you possibly be? And of course, because of the internet, this is someone who's now a global phenomenon. She started in England, and I don't think she was really prepared to have the media calling from all parts of the globe. And I don't think any normal Scottish housewife can be prepared for that.
Do you think the TV shows show enough care themselves, Susan?
Look, I think that the people go into that with their eyes open, and yes, maybe there is more that they can do, but the contestants themselves do have to take some responsibility as well. They go into it wanting to be made a star, and you can't really blame the media for then doing that.
Yeah. Max, do you think the stuff we're talking about now will affect her career? I'm guessing you think that it's all OK to be human and people can relate to that at the end of the day.
She'll get the sympathy vote. People who may have not loved her before will love her. The media will back off a bit and not be so harsh on her, especially in England. They can be really harsh in England, even more so than on the morning show. And I think it'll be, you know, she'll be fine. So don't worry about Susan. She'll be absolutely fine.
OK, and from a psychologist, will she be fine, Jo?
Oh, I am worried about it. I'm far more worried than Max. Yeah, I think she will be fine if she makes a new decision. I think she needs to just stop, bunker down, and then make a new decision if this is what she wants. Now she knows what it's like. She didn't know what it was like before. Let's make let her make an informed decision with all the information now.
Sort of be careful what you wish for kind of scenario.
Right. And then you might, as Nikki said, might again choose, yes, this is what I wish for, and that'll be much better.
We're covered. We've covered every possible angle. Thank you very much, guys.
No, we haven't. We didn't speak to her cat. If we only brought the cat in, that would have completed the
Coming up
panel.
after 9:30, Susan Boyle's cat. As organised by Max Markson for a small fee.
Thank
live on The
you,
Morning Show.
Max and Susan, Nikki and Jo. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you, everybody.